Fusi, it's been fantastic to be back in Dubai, and particularly joining you and the Citygates family on Sunday. And wow, so much has changed. There seems to be so much momentum.
Yeah, thank you. God has been great. He's provided a building for us, which has been amazing. First time ever in Dubai. October last year, we came together, Gateway and City Hill, to be one church. We are now Citygates. And since then, we've seen the hand of God over us. We went from a church that was meeting two meetings. First meeting was 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, and the second one was at 11 o'clock. So we now have at least about 5 meetings. God has just grown us amazingly. So we have a meeting on a Friday night. We have a meeting Saturday morning, which is a Russian-speaking group, and they've just hit 100 mark this last Saturday, which is amazing by the grace of God. And then we have 2 meetings on a Sunday, but we've just introduced a Saturday evening meeting. So we've seen an incredible, enormous growth over the last few months, but also I think it's down to what God is doing between Pete and myself, the camaraderie of the sense of working together, and the grace of God in our togetherness has been absolutely amazing. And as a result of that, we've seen the church just really come together. And what you witnessed on Sunday was very much the grace of God, because of what God is doing among us as 2 leaders.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that stood out for me, and you can lose it sometimes with fast growth, is that you felt like a family.
Yeah, that's what we want to build. We want to build Citygates as a family. We are in a most diverse and a most amazing city, which is technologically advanced, which is fast-paced and all that. We can so easily become like a business, but we want to keep this as a family. The church is a family, and through that we've seen this family expand, but also we've been sending we are a family on a mission. We've been sending people left, right, center, different directions. And I think probably within the last 8 months, we would have sent about maybe 5 or 6 families that have gone different directions, whether it's the UK, the Philippines, and plant churches, strengthening churches. So God has been good. We've also been sending teams. So we've had at least about 8 mission trips in the last 8 months alone.
Yeah.
So God has been
getting
good.
your own building sometimes can cause a church to stagnate, but it's exact opposite. I mean, when I heard about the teams you've sent out and where they've gone, Africa, into the East, all over, it brought such great joy. And I noticed how many of your people referred to them. I was on this team or that team.
Yeah, so we do believe that God has really shaped Citygates to become a church that will be a base church here in the Middle East, where we find ourselves, but also a very strategic church for our family of churches, regions beyond. We want to see ourselves go into the nations, but setting a pace, as it were, to help churches around the world, strengthen churches around the world, and plant churches as well. We've often said that we want to be able to send millions of dirhams out of here so that we can reach millions of people out there. And that's exactly what we are seeing. We are seeing the beginning of that. The last trip that we did was to Nepal, where we took about 22 people from 8 different nations, and then there was another team that was coming back from Zambia, and I think there must have been about 5 different nationalities coming from there. Yeah, it was amazing. Only in Dubai, yeah, and the impact that we had in Nepal was absolutely phenomenal.
Good.
So that's
one
what
last
God is
question.
doing.
If I heard correctly, the Russian-speaking service on a Saturday morning is led by a Russian leader and a Ukrainian leader.
It is, yeah. We've seen the grace of God here.
Wow.
We, judging things from a political perspective, we can so easily get drawn into that. But actually, we are building a different kingdom here, which is the kingdom of God. And in the kingdom of God, we see those divisions completely overcome, as Ephesians 2 says. And we've seen those guys beginning to work together. We have one of the leaders is from Russia, one of the leaders from Ukraine working together. One of them is the one that's from Russia. His wife is from the Ukraine. So the whole thing is so intertwined.
Wow.
And when I say Russian-speaking congregation it's not just from Russia and the Ukraine, it's from the Russian-speaking world,
yeah.
like Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, and many other places.
Very
so
good.
we're seeing a lot of people from those nations come to Dubai, and as a result of that, they come to a Russian-speaking service, and it's been absolutely phenomenal to see the growth of that. So God has been good to us.
Yeah. Keep going. We're cheering you on. Massively proud of both you and Pete and the teams that are carrying this church. God bless you.
Thank you.